Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So we're looking at a bunch of positive news going on. We have the Dow Jones that is up 20,000 points. They hit the 20,000 point mark. It's absolutely great. Dow Jones Industrial Average broke through the historic 20,000 mark, close at 20,007, as the Trump trade rally drove world stock prices higher on January 25th. Traders' enthusiasm was driven by a bunch of supply-side America First executive orders issued by President Donald Trump this week that froze regulations, restricted federal non-military hiring, undermined Obamacare, and moved to build the Keystone XL and Dakota pipeline projects. The Kansas City Star also published leaked details of the initial 50 infrastructure projects that the Trump administration would seek to fund on a 50-50 split between the federal government and private developers, according to Breitbart News. So that's what we have going on here. Donald Trump's policies have resulted in the stock market doing better than ever before. We hit 20,000 on the Dow Jones mark. It is absolutely great. You know, Trump said we're going to get tired of winning. I mean, he said that, didn't he? An awful lot. Well, now it appears, in fact, we are winning far more than ever before. And it is great. I mean, it's really just wonderful to be optimistic about the future of this country, because the future is optimistic. Now, here's another thing that we have going on here. We have where wall construction, this is also from Breitbart News, wall construction is going to begin, according to Donald Trump, as soon as we can physically do it. That's what Donald Trump is expressing. As soon as we can physically construct the wall, it is going to be built. So he's carrying through on his promises. And I covered this a little bit yesterday, because if you remember, you had a lot of liberal members of the press. Liberal members of the press were saying, is Donald Trump going to carry through with this? Is he going to build the wall, or is this all just a lie? Is it just political jabber? Well, turns out, no, Donald Trump meant every word that he said, and now construction is going to begin on the wall. According to Breitbart News, President Donald Trump vowed to start his big, beautiful wall on the southern border of the United States immediately during an interview with ABC News and anchor David Muir. When asked for the construction date, Trump said that he would begin the project as soon as we can physically do it, and confirmed that planning would start immediately. He predicted, however, that the actual construction process might take a few months to begin. Trump will travel this afternoon, which was yesterday, to the Department of Homeland Security to sign several executive orders that deal with border security. Trump confirmed that ultimately Mexico would pay for the wall, but that the government would get the project started. So that's what we have going on here. So Donald Trump signed executive orders carrying through with the wall, with building the wall. It is so absolutely great. It is. It is absolutely wonderful. Now, here's another thing that we have here. Paul Ryan is saying that we're going to front the money up, according to him. This is Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan. He's saying that we'll front the money up for the border wall, and the cost is between $8 to $14 billion. Now, here's the thing. We're going to begin the project, but according to Trump, Mexico is going to pay for it. Now, I'm not going to doubt the man yet, because so far he is beginning to carry out everything that he said that he was going to do. So, I mean, it's really looking promising for us, really looking good for us, so we'll see what happens in the end. But he's really doing well. But anyway, guys, I mean, we have that going on. Have another thing here, and this is something else that you really want to pay attention to. If you notice, you have this big, long thing about voter fraud that we have going on here. And there have been several news articles that have been released pertaining to voter fraud, if it had any influence on the election. And anyway, Donald Trump is really getting involved in combating the voter fraud. He wants to investigate it. He wants to look into it. And according to what we have here from the Clinton News Network, CNN, Communist News Network, since the Clintons are no longer in politics, isn't that great to say? From CNN, President Donald Trump could sign an executive order or presidential thing initiating an investigation into voter fraud. And this could happen as early as Thursday, a senior administration official told CNN. The investigation would be carried out through the Department of Justice. The move would expand on Trump's interest in the unproven claims that he has made. Unproven claims, see the language that they're using? The unproven claims that he's made since November's election, alleging that millions of illegal votes were cast without citing any evidence. Well, yeah, we have the entire thing from James O'Keefe, where we had people that were going to voting stations at various lower population neighborhoods or areas where they don't check stuff thoroughly, and casting more ballots than the people who are part of the population of the precinct. There are more people voting in these various precincts that are part of that precinct's population. So yeah, there's voter fraud that is occurring. The news media just refuses to acknowledge it. The lying media. And that's why no one trusts them anymore. But here's the thing. I have another article here about this entire case also. And this is something important to point out. Reuters has this big, long article thing here. Trump's call for probe of voter fraud sparks backlash. That's from Reuters. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday that he would seek an investigation into what he believes was voter fraud in last November's election, despite an overwhelming consensus among state officials, election experts, and politicians that it is rare in the United States. The announcement drew rebukes from both Republicans and Democrats, who said the Republican president's unsustained claims of large-scale fraud could undermine voting rights efforts, as well as confidence in the U.S. chief executive. What Republicans are saying that? Do they quote any of them? No. They just say that both Republicans and Democrats are aggravated. They are rebuking Trump's actions at investigating this. Why would Republicans be rebuking it? They're not. They're not rebuking Trump wanting to have an investigation on voter fraud. So that's just a hit piece from Reuters right there. Bias. They're trying to make it, you see, bipartisan, parties. Both parties want voter fraud, and they don't want Trump to look into it. That's not it at all. The Democrats are afraid that Trump is going to look into it because they know that if there is any voter fraud, it's going to benefit them. And not only that, I remind you guys, it was President Obama who encouraged illegal aliens to vote. He said that very clearly in an interview that was conducted. I mean, we had, matter of fact, I'll go ahead and play the audio interview here for you. President Obama, I'll go ahead and get this thing rolling, but yeah, President Obama said, yeah, why not? Allow illegal immigrants to vote. What's wrong with them? They're citizens too. Go ahead, play it.
CNN's Allison Camerota was in disbelief that Trump voters thought illegal immigrants voted.
So where are you getting your information?
From the media. Where else
Which
would we
media?
get? Some of it was CNN, I believe. And
CNN said that 3 million illegal people voted
well,
in
it was coming
California?
all across the media. All across. Well, CNN didn't do it, then they were being smart this time.
Do you think that 3 million illegal people
I
voted?
believe in California that there were illegals that voted.
How many?
I don't.
So anyway, listen to this.
Many of the millennials, dreamers, undocumented citizens, and I call them citizens because they contribute to this country, are fearful of voting. So if I vote, will immigration know where I live? Will they come for my family and deport us?
Not true.
Not true.
And the reason is, first of all, when you vote, you are a citizen yourself, and there is not a situation where the voting rolls somehow are transferred over and people start investigating, etc. The sanctity of the vote is strictly confidential.
So there you go. That's President Obama encouraging illegals to vote. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're going to vote illegally, no one's going to come looking for you. That's the sanctity of the vote. That is our former president. encouraging illegals to vote in the election, saying no one's going to come looking for you. No, that's not going to happen at all. Nope, not going to happen. So guys, this clearly reveals why the Democrats do not want Trump looking into illegals voting in this election. In the previous election, other elections of the past. It's because they benefit from voter fraud. They benefit from illegals being able to vote, and they benefit from these illegal voters. That's exactly what they are, illegal voters, not being investigated. They don't want an investigation because they want these people to continue voting illegally to benefit the Democratic Party, because that's just more numbers for them. Okay? And Obama said, yeah, if you vote, you're a citizen. That's what we're dealing with here, guys. I mean, it's absolutely insane. And not only that, we have a study that claimed that 2.8 million non-citizens voted in 2008. Somewhere between 38,000 and almost 2.8 million non-citizens voted in the 2008 elections, according to a study published in the Electoral Studies Journal in 2014. This is according to Peter Hassan from the Daily Caller. Old Dominion University professors Jesse Richmond and David Ernest, the study's co-authors, concluded that some non-citizens participated in the U.S. elections, and that this participation has been large enough to change meaningful election outcomes, including electoral college votes and congressional elections. So there you go. Guys, this is a major problem, and it needs to be investigated. So we go back to Reuters, and they're saying that both Republicans and Democrats are rebuking Donald Trump for wanting to have an investigation in voter fraud. No, Republicans are not rebuking it. It's the Democratic Party, because they know that without illegal voters, they can't win elections. That's really what we have going on here. They are depending on illegals in order to win. But guys, I got to tell you, it's so absolutely pathetic that it's so controversial to say, hey, we're going to make sure that the election's honest. We're going to make sure that illegals are not voting. But here's another thing. If illegals were voting in this election, and we had voter fraud going on, and Donald Trump conducts an investigation, and that is revealed, and that turns out to be true, that means that the Democrats hacked the election. That Mexico hacked the election. It wasn't Russia. It was Mexico. Mexico hacked the election and tried to rig it in support of Hillary Clinton. But the thing is that Trump still won the electoral vote, while Hillary may have won the popular. But without California and New York, Trump still would have won the vote if we go by the popular one. Go by the popular vote. Trump would have won without New York and California. So, I mean, guys, I guess Mexico is the one that hacked the election, but they didn't do a very good job at it. But, I tell you, this is another thing that is really clear to me, too. Democrats are so distraught, they cannot accept that Donald Trump is now president. They can't deal with it. They can't accept it. He is illegitimately president of the United States. Here's the thing. If Trump is illegitimately president of the United States, why are they so sure about that? Could it be because they knew very well that the election was going to be hacked to try to be in support, to try to give favor to Hillary Clinton? Did they try to hack the election to give favor to Hillary, and it didn't work out because Trump took two of their blue states? Actually, several of their blue states. 3, I think. More than that, actually, if we go to all the battleground states. But yeah. Guys, this is absolutely absurd that you cannot say that people who are not U.S. citizens should not be allowed to vote in U.S. elections. Do you know how pathetic that is? That is a controversial statement to the media and to most of these Democratic politicians. And, guys, that's the thing. How is it controversial? Why would Republicans be rebuking Donald Trump to promote integrity in politics? Well, we have the establishment Republicans that don't have any integrity, but nevertheless, still, why would Republicans be rebuking Trump for trying to help the Republican Party? It's the Democrats that are doing it, and Reuters just tried to make it sound like it was bipartisan.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Hey guys, let me tell you about our sponsor, modernandcomfy.com. Modernandcomfy.com offers various products for your home, for your apartment, business. They sell sofas, sectionals, accent tables, bedroom dressers, dining and kitchen tables, along with other furniture products for homes, for apartments. Their website is modernandcomfy.com. That is modernandcomfy.com. Modernandcomfy.com is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Hey guys, let me tell you about our sponsor, modernandcomfy.com. Modernandcomfy.com offers various products for your home, for your apartment, business. They sell sofas, sectionals, accent tables, bedroom dressers, dining and kitchen tables, along with other furniture products for homes, for apartments. Their website is modernandcomfy.com. That is modernandcomfy.com. Modernandcomfy.com is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Hey guys, let me tell you about our sponsor, modernandcomfy.com. Modernandcomfy.com offers various products for your home, for your apartment, business. They sell sofas, sectionals, accent tables, bedroom dressers, dining and kitchen tables, along with other furniture products for homes, for apartments. Their website is modernandcomfy.com. That is modernandcomfy.com. Modernandcomfy.com is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Hey guys, let me tell you about our sponsor, modernandcomfy.com. Modernandcomfy.com offers various products for your home, for your apartment, business. They sell sofas, sectionals, accent tables, bedroom dressers, dining and kitchen tables, along with other furniture products for homes, for apartments. Their website is modernandcomfy.com. That is modernandcomfy.com. Modernandcomfy.com is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Hey guys, let me tell you about our sponsor, modernandcomfy.com. Modernandcomfy.com offers various products for your home, for your apartment, business. They sell sofas, sectionals, accent tables, bedroom dressers, dining and kitchen tables, along with other furniture products for homes, for apartments. Their website is modernandcomfy.com. That is modernandcomfy.com. Modernandcomfy.com is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, student loan debt, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. It is great to have you with us. So, have a thing here. Apparently, because this is from Breitbart, too. We have a lot of Breitbart articles today. But anyway, we have a tech crunch here. It's impossible to determine Trump's exact crowd size, according to this article from Chris Street. Although the left is ridiculing President Donald Trump by claiming that his inaugural crowd, was 160 versus or 160,000, more like 160, that's some CNN would say, 160,000 versus the president's 1 million and 1.5 million estimate. Commercial technology was not available on the overcast day to give an accurate inaugural attendance. So the overcast data was unable to accurately calculate the entire inaugural attendance for Trump's event, for Trump's inauguration. So what that means is that, we don't know how many people were there. So it's a toss-up. The latest from BBC's Radio 4 Today program interviewed Marcel Atlenberg, I think I said that right, who identified himself as a crowd scientist from Manchester Metropolitan University. Atlenberg claimed that Donald Trump's National Mall crowd was a third of what he saw in 2009, in the same location for Barack Obama's first inauguration. Atlenberg's math that President Trump's crowd could have been about 600,000 attendees. But by the time the story got to the New York Times, they reported that the crowd was only about 160,000 people in those areas in the hour leading up to Mr. Trump's speech on Friday. The Times added that at least 470,000 people were at the Women's March, so they're saying that more people were at the Women's March than at Trump's inauguration. In Washington, in the areas on and near the mall around 2 o'clock p.m. Saturday, or about triple Trump's crowd. So they're making it out like the Women's March has far more momentum than Trump's inauguration. Now, I remind you that people just came out for Trump's inauguration. They wanted to be there, but this entire Women's March thing was entirely orchestrated by your liberal Washington elites, including organizations like the I Like to Kill Baby Factory, Planned Parenthood. So, I mean, guys, this is a thing. Liberals are trying to make it out that Trump is illegitimately president, that he won this thing by a coin toss, although you can actually say that Hillary won the nomination by coin toss because they were literally flipping coins in some of the primary elections for Bernie Sanders, between her and Bernie Sanders. They were legitimately flipping coins, doing coin tosses to see who won. It's insane. I mean, this is really what we're depending on. If Donald Trump is not legitimately president because he didn't win the popular vote, then President Obama isn't legitimately a president either because he didn't win the popular vote in the Democratic primary of 2008. Hillary Clinton did. Hillary Clinton had more popular votes than President Obama in that election. At the time, Senator Obama. So, I mean, guys, I don't hear anybody on the liberal left saying that Obama isn't legitimately president, do you? No, he's not only president, he's the first black president. Yeah. See, that's the thing. The hypocrisy amongst liberals is so absolutely astronomical. It is hilarious. Obama lost the popular vote in 2008 during the primary, but yet he's a legitimate president. Donald Trump loses the popular vote in the general election, but he won the electoral vote, yet he's illegitimately president. Liberal hypocrisy is very apparent throughout this entire case. Okay? It's pathetic. But that's what liberals are. They are pathetic. Now, here's the thing. All right? With President Obama losing the popular vote, Does that mean that he should lose everything then? Does that mean that, he should be recognized as being a legitimate president? Should he? Because, I remind you that if his citizenship was mentioned, liberals threw complete, mud over that. Lord forbid anyone questions where his birth certificate's at, even though it's not found anywhere. They had to print a new one off. But no. You dare call President Obama illegitimate, the liberal left absolutely drug you through the mud. They drug you through hot coals. It was horrible. If anyone dared say, which they did, if anyone dared say that Obama was not a legitimate president, and they cited the reason because of him potentially being born in Kenya, as it was believed, then, guys, liberals really ridiculed people over that. But now that Donald Trump is president, they're doing the same exact thing to him. They're making it out like he is illegitimately president. He does not deserve. It's so absolutely insane. But that is what the liberals are. They are nothing but a bunch of hypocrites. But anyway, guys, so that's what we have going on here. This entire thing is just a bunch of absurdity that we have going on. But want to move on. There's a thing here from the White House. Spicer, who is Trump's press secretary, decided to issue a statement pertaining to sanctuary cities. We are going to strip federal grant money from sanctuary cities and states that harbor illegal immigrants. This is according to Spicer. Go ahead and play it.
And their governments are going to take them back. The second executive order, enhancing public safety in the interior of the United States, addresses the enforcement of our immigration laws in the United States and returns the power and responsibility to the dedicated men and women of the Department of Homeland Security's Immigration and Custom Enforcement to help them enforce the law. These men and women want to enforce the law, and we're going to help them do that. Federal agencies are going to unapologetically enforce the law. No ifs, ands, or buts. We're going to restore the popular and successful Secure Communities program, which will help ICE agents target illegal immigrants for removal. The State Department is going to withhold visas and use other tools to make countries accept and return the criminals that came from their country. We'll ensure that these countries take those individuals back, and we're going to strip federal grant money from the sanctuary states and cities that harbor illegal immigrants. The American people are no longer going to have to be forced to subsidize this disregard for our laws. Reforming our immigration system has been at the top of President Trump's priorities since he announced his candidacy. Now, in just the final first week, just in the first week, we're not there yet, of his presidency, the last administration will enforce the rule of law and restore value to the American citizenship, our asset in the 21st century. As to the rest of the day...
Are we done? Yep, it's done playing. Okay. So that's what we have going on there. Now, in response to this, we have a whole bunch of other stuff going on now, preparing. We have Jerry Brown saying that we have to prepare for the battle ahead. We have, I think it was, what was it? New York, I think it was it New York City mayor? I think it was New York City. I forget what area it was. Yeah, sanctuary cities like New York could very well lose funding. We have Mayor de Blasio saying that New York City will fight Trump on sanctuary cities if needed. This is from PIX11.com. New York City officials say that they are prepared to fight President Donald Trump's order stripping funding from sanctuary cities that don't fully cooperate with immigration authorities. Mayor Bill de Blasio says that the order would undermine public safety and contradicts the character and values of the city and nation. So in other words, we have a city that is actually thinking about taking on the federal government. That's going to be a great showdown.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
You always want to look your best, but you don't always have time to deal with a necktie that won't cooperate. That's where we come in. Introducing the Never Tie, the only necktie that you never have to tie. Each Never Tie comes with a tie and 2 removable knots that you simply slide on and adjust for your comfort, giving you the perfect look every time. Choose from over 20 stylish designs at thenevertie.com. Enter promo code RADIO1 for discount.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China...
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, student loan debt, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network, where America comes to talk.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. It is great to have you with us. So I have an audio bit here for you from MSLSD, one of the ABC networks. And apparently you have this commentator on there, his name is Burns, that thinks that the inaugural speech of Donald Trump was dark because it was protectionist and highly nationalistic. Go ahead and listen to this. This is this Burns guy on MSNBC.
On set. Great to have you on the show this morning. Our first question for you this morning comes from Cokie Roberts in Washington. Cokie?
Hi, Ambassador Burns. How nice to see you.
Good morning, Cokie.
You have played so many roles in the State Department over so many years. And I must just ask you a big question. Have you ever seen anything like this? It looks like new relations with China, with Russia, with Great Britain, with the European Union, all of it. I mean, is this just remarkable to you?
I think it is remarkable. It's a rough start. I mean, when you go out and try to create a crisis with China, whether it's on trade or currency and now the South China Sea, but you don't have that kind of tough-minded policy towards Russia, you've confused the European allies, you've unnerved the Asian allies. And I think that inaugural speech, it was a dark speech. And it was a protectionist speech and highly nationalistic. And what the rest of the world is used to hearing from, whether it's Eisenhower or Reagan or Barack Obama, is a big-hearted America, an America that's ready to lead and be faithful to its allies. And I think the acute problem, Cokie, right now is in Europe, where Trump is not working with Angela Merkel, and she's the strongest leader in Europe. Last week, he said that he would have equal trust in Angela Merkel and Vladimir Putin. He said he didn't care if the Europeans survived or not, and he called NATO obsolete in one interview with the Times of London.
Okay.
And from your perspective, again, over so many years and so many roles, what does that mean for the United States of America?
Well, a lot of our interests are overseas. A lot of our jobs depend on our ability to export. And so if we're protectionist, if we reject the Trans-Pacific Partnership, we basically cede that field to China. I'm not sure it helps the American worker and American businesses, but a lot of it has to do, and you know this, Cokie, from your years in Washington, the reliability and credibility of the American president. President Trump has a right to change policy, but he has to do so in a way that explains to our allies how we're going to relate to them, and in the case of our allies in NATO, defend them from Vladimir Putin. So it's been a very shaky beginning. You served ambassador in the...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so you notice how all of these little liberal talking heads, these little liberal commentators on TV, always create their own interpretations of what these politicians say, of what Donald Trump says. They create their own interpretations of what they mean, analyzing it all, and it's not what they're saying at all. Like this guy is making out like Trump doesn't care about Europe or anybody. He has property in Europe, so of course he's going to care about it. I mean, it's insane. They create these own little things, these own little visualizations in their minds of what Trump says. And then they spew it out. And they try to create their own versions of it to be far worse, that nobody agrees with, including Trump. But it's perfect at trying to destroy Trump's character. Now, here's another thing. Why is all of a sudden the Democratic Party so concerned about Russia? Why are all of a sudden the Democrats so concerned about Vladimir Putin, about Russia, and everything else when President Obama ridiculed Mitt Romney in 2012 when they were running against each other? And Obama said that the Cold War is over. Said that to Mitt Romney. Go ahead and listen to this.
Governor Romney, I'm glad that you recognize that al-Qaeda is a threat. Because a few months ago, when you were asked what's the biggest geopolitical threat facing America, you said Russia. Not al-Qaeda. You said Russia. In the 1980s are now calling to ask for their foreign policy back because the Cold War has been over for 20 years. But, Governor, when it comes to our foreign policy, you seem to want to import the foreign policies of the 1980s. Just like the social policies of the 1950s and the economic policies of the 1920s. You say that you're not interested in duplicating what happened in Iraq, but just a few weeks ago you said you think we should have more troops in Iraq right now. And the challenge we have, I know you haven't been in a position to actually execute foreign policy. But every time you've offered an opinion, you've been wrong. You said we should have gone into Iraq, despite the fact that there were no weapons of mass destruction. You said that we should still have troops in Iraq to this day. You indicated that we shouldn't be passing nuclear treaties with Russia, despite the fact that 71 senators, Democrats and Republicans, voted for it. You've said that, first, we should not have a timeline in Afghanistan. Then you said we should. Now you say maybe, or it depends, which means not only were you wrong, but you were also confusing and sending mixed messages both to our troops and our allies. So what we need to do with respect to the Middle East is strong, steady leadership, not wrong and reckless leadership that is all over the map.
So there you go. You have President Obama. Play that one more time. President Obama, that little remark he made pertaining to Russia.
Policy back, because the Cold War has been over for 20 years. But, Governor...
So there you go. The Cold War has been over for 20 years. Russia is no concern. We shouldn't be worrying about Russia. Russia shouldn't even be on the map of... shouldn't even be on the United States radar. Obama said, you shouldn't be concerned about Russia. Play it again.
Because a few months ago, when you were asked what's the biggest geopolitical threat facing America, you said Russia.
Well, what are the Democrats doing now? They're making it out like the biggest threat concerning the United States is Russia. They are such imbeciles. It's crazy, guys. They are saying, here they're saying, Russia's not a problem. Now all we hear from the Democratic Party is a noun, a verb, and Russia. That's it. These people are such hypocrites. They change and evolve time and time again just to fit their environments. It's absolutely pathetic. But that's what they do. This clearly demonstrates just how the Democrats work. We shouldn't be concerned about Russia. Now all of a sudden, we're concerned about Russia. Which is it? Should we worry about Russia? Should we not worry about Russia? Have the 1980s reoccurred and we should be getting their foreign policy back, President Obama? Mitt Romney was concerned about Russia before the Democrats were, and now the Democrats are overwhelmingly concerned about Russia, and we're no longer. It's crazy how it flips back and forth, isn't it? But basically what's going on here is that the Democrats wanted somebody to blame, so that's what they decided to do. It was hijacked by Russia. Even though it's very possible that what actually has occurred is that illegal immigrants hijacked the election, which would mean that the election was hijacked by Mexico, not Russia. So it's crazy. But it's very entertaining, isn't it? Especially when you see this hypocrisy clearly for yourselves. And it's not hard to miss. All you have to do is look. So it's absolutely pathetic. I got to tell you guys. But that's just what I wanted to cover a little bit there. I wanted to reflect back on that. But you also have a thing that we'll get to in the next segment from, I want to get back to the sanctuary cities thing before we close the program out, because you have the New York City Council speaker on Trump targeting sanctuary cities. And she said that he is deflecting from real culprit, which is insufficient gun control. So it's not illegal immigrants that we should be worried about. It is gun control. How does that make any sense? So I guess it's not the illegal immigrants that are killing the people. It's the guns that are killing people. That's the real thing that we should be concerned about. That's a real thing that we should be looking at. Shouldn't be looking at securing the border. Shouldn't be looking at deporting, these people who come across our border illegally. The first act upon entering this country is an illegal one, is breaking our laws. Shouldn't be worried about deporting those people. No. What we should be focusing on is gun control, disarming the people, but making sure that there is no border so gun control or Mexican drug cartels can freely come into this nation. We have no means of protecting ourselves. Isn't that great? But anyways, that's what we have coming from the NYC Council spokesman. So go ahead and we'll listen to this when we get back.
Keeping America straight.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
You always want to look your best, but you don't always have time to deal with a necktie that won't cooperate. That's where we come in. Introducing the Never Tie, the only necktie that you never have to tie. Each Never Tie comes with a tie and 2 removable knots that you simply slide on and adjust for your comfort, giving you the perfect look every time. Choose from over 20 stylish designs at thenevertie.com. Enter promo code RADIO1 for discount.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, student loan debt, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network, where America comes to talk.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
So we have the New York City Council speaker stating that Donald Trump is deflecting on the real culprit here. Not illegal immigrants, but illegal guns. We need gun control. That's what we need. We don't need to control the border. No, we need gun control. So yeah, that is what we are dealing with here, guys. So I have the audio bit here for you. Go ahead and listen to this. This is the New York City Council speaker.
Very hard to contain myself after hearing and seeing
Melissa
what I just
Vretel.
witnessed, as many of you have. So obviously, if there was ever any doubt in anyone's mind whether Trump's bigoted, hateful, divisive rhetoric truly reflected his intentions, we've seen that on display right now in terms of the signing of these executive orders and what statement he made publicly. Today we've learned the first step in the Trump administration's dangerous and misguided attack on immigrants in this country. This city, our city, knows better than that. New Yorkers know that immigrants contribute to our economy, our culture, and our communities. Immigrants are our families, our friends, our coworkers, and our neighbors.
Not illegals.
We're not going to stand idly by while Trump administration tears families apart and uses them as scapegoats.
Can't even say his name.
Our laws and policies fall squarely within the law, and therefore we will do everything in our power to defend them.
Freeze. Okay. Our policies perfectly stand within the law. It's perfectly legal to harbor people who come into this country illegally and do not legally belong here. We're perfectly within our bounds. Whatever, lady. Okay, keep playing it.
Allow the rights of New Yorkers, regardless of immigration status, country of origin, or religious beliefs, to be trampled.
Right. That's
and although there are
on.
many unknowns, one thing is certain, that the City Council's commitment to supporting our immigrant communities is unwavering. We're going to fight tirelessly to uphold the rule of law. Our laws fall within that, and we're going to do everything to protect them. To sit there and hear and use families that have lost loved ones, we're not here to defend any criminal offenders.
Right.
We have not talked at all about our gun laws. And the thousands and tens of thousands
That's what it is.
of victims. This is a deflection of the true issues that we have at hand.
What is a true issue?
When he talks about Chicago and sending in the feds into Chicago, the mayor himself said, well, let's stem the flow of illegal guns. Let's talk about tightening the loopholes in our gun laws. That is one way that we really will address violence, utilizing families and their pain.
You dipstick. All right, I'm done listening to this Nimrod. Okay, here's the thing, guys. Chicago has the toughest gun control laws in the nation. And guess what? They have massive gun crime. Homicides are crazy. Already 200 and something. It's insane. West Virginia, where everyone owns a gun, very low crime rates, okay? That's the thing. This woman is so absolutely out of her mind illogical that she can probably barely determine the difference between lightness and darkness. It's pathetic. For crying out loud, guys. They're talking about rule of law while at the same time they're defending illegal immigration. I love how they keep referring to immigrants too, like anybody who opposes illegal immigration automatically opposes all immigrants, period. No one's saying that. We are perfectly fine with people coming from Mexico into America as long as they do so the legal way. And quite frankly, I think it makes sense that we should be protecting the legal Mexican immigrants coming in here from the illegal ones that are breaking our laws, that don't care about our nation, and their first act upon entering this country is breaking the rule of law. I think it's pretty fair to say we should be protecting the legal immigrants from what they are escaping from and preventing those people that they are escaping from entering the United States. And the way that you do that is through a wall, through a border. These people they are so absolutely out of their mind, illogical. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to us. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. For the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God bless America.